You have no idea how excited I am to review this yarn. This is the Papatya Batik or Batik yarn. This is a DK weight yarn. It says lightweight 3. Comes in 100 gram balls, 3.50 ounces. You get 360 meters or 393 yards per ball. 100% acrylic machine washable, 30 degrees. Now it says you can use a 4 to 4.5 millimeter hook. We have these little diagrams here. What's interesting about it is it says about 5 balls will make a jumper. It doesn't specify what size, so I would assume that's perhaps a medium, because when I'm knitting I will use typically anywhere from like 3.5 to 4.5 balls to make a size extra small. But I think it depends. You would obviously eat more yarn if you crochet it, so it could be like a size small in crochet, size medium large in knitting. I don't know, it needs to specify really, doesn't it? Made in Turkey. This yarn I paid £2.99 per ball for it, and I bought 3 balls in this colour. The colour is 554.11. Right there. I'm sorry if it's backwards on the camera and if it's not focusing. However, the colour looks pretty accurate. It's like, I wouldn't describe it as pastel, it's a stage or two above that, almost like an ice cream swirl, spring, summer type of colour. I love this rainbow effect yarn. This is honestly the best rainbow effect I've had. Now it's more like a slightly more of a paint splatter effect to it, but it's definitely giving rainbow vibes. Not a traditional rainbow, but nevertheless I love it. Now what else I want to say about this yarn is there are 1 or 2 issues with it, but I'll get into those in a moment. This has probably become my favourite yarn of the summer. I bought it on the Knitting Network. It has a strange diagram here. 3mm it says for a hook size. I guess that's the minimum you could use. I'm not really sure why it would say that when it says the needles are 4 to 4.5. I've been crocheting a skirt with this with a 4.5mm hook, and it's turning out really beautifully. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to let you see that now, just so you can get a good view of the colour palette, and I'm going to show you the issues with it as we go along. So I thought I'd show you the skirt now because it will allow me to crochet with it on an active project rather than just an example. Now this is the colour patterning we have. As you see, it has that paint splatter splotchy effect. There's one of the little problems, but we'll get into that in a moment. Now this is a beautiful effect. I absolutely love it. It has really nice striping, which is a good thing. Some of them are a little bit crisscrossed. This has that, but it's nowhere near as dramatic as some other brands. This yarn is lovely and soft. What I will say about it is it feels exactly like every other type of acrylic yarn within this price range. So like, say, the £1.80 to £3 type of range. How would you describe it? Not the highest quality, but by no means is it bad quality. This is a soft yarn, it's very comfy. And one thing I've noticed about it is there's pretty much no shedding. A lot of yarns within this price range in particular shed a lot. Like Paintbox sheds a lot, Stylecraft sheds a little bit, Yarn and Colours sheds a bit. This doesn't really shed at all. I haven't noticed any fibres anywhere, none in the air around me when I'm crocheting, and I love that. And that's just something I've actually kind of noticed now, is that there's no hair on anything. I haven't had to wipe up loads of it, which is a great thing. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this light blue colour here. I'm just double crocheting around. I've literally done all of the increases. I just have to do a few more rows, I think I have to do. I think this is the 3rd row out of 7 I have to do before I finish the length. I like my skirts to be a little bit longer. I don't like anything that could expose my bum. I also want to be able to sit down, and you know when you sit down and it's oh, nearly lost something then. And you sit down and your bum's on the chair. I don't like that. Really can't stand that. I have to have everything covered, have to have it nice and flat. I'm going to crochet an elastic waistband into this too. I don't feel there will be any problems with that, doing this with this yarn. Yeah. And another thing I will say about this is that I've noticed very little or no splitting. I've had to pull back an area once because of splitting. I think it's split maybe 3 times, and I've done quite a few rows. I have used just over 1 ball. Can we see where it's attached? Here, that's where I attached a ball. So from there all the way down, you get quite a lot on a ball really. It has, what was it, over 300 yards or something? Over 300 meters, which is really good. I'm really pleased with that. You get a lot for your money really, especially when it's a variegated yarn. And look at this, look, you see the colour patterning there, where the pink and the purple go. It has little splotches of the colour throughout before it fully changes, and that's something I love. I'm sorry if you can hear rattling, by the way. We have extremely high winds and it's messing with the vents. But yeah, I'm so pleased with this yarn. As I said, 4.5mm hook. Very comfortable double crochet. I've also done, obviously I did chaining to start the ribbing, and I've done half double crochets with this. Absolutely fine. Also, when you pull it back, you frog a little bit. I'll show you an example now. It comes apart easily with no snagging. It's the same the whole way around. You can pull back a few rows and it's no problem whatsoever. I really like that about this yarn. I love yarns that are easy to pull back. I know it's a budget yarn, but it doesn't really look it with the quality, especially when you just like look at it as a whole, the whole patterning. I mean, to make a skirt for like £4, which will be the total, £4 to £5, a lovely variegated yarn skirt, that's a really good price. You can't buy anything that price in the shop. It saves a lot of money, and it'll be suitable to wear in the cooler weather as well. They have other colours too, they do. This one was the one that drew me in most though. I really liked it. I wanted something that was not pastel but like a lighter, summery, variegated, almost a rainbowy effect. At the moment I'm having a lot of fun with kind of rainbow yarns and rainbow colours, so yeah. I've changed to green. Lovely colour changes, not too dramatic, not too subtle, perfect, really, in my opinion. Again, I'm sorry about the wind, there's nothing I can do about that noise. However, we're going to get on with talking about some of the problems with this yarn. There are imperfections. This is a factory knot. There's nothing I can do about it except turn it inside out, the whole project. But look at that fraying. That really annoyed me when I first found that. And so far in one ball I found 2 factory knots. In this second ball I have already found 2 factory knots. Despite the fact I haven't used that much, you saw yourself, I'd only done a couple of rows. And this isn't a particularly large project. It probably looks larger on camera than it is. It's about that big, like maybe at most like 10 to 12 inches wide. And that's it. I've stretched it out as well, so that's not great. But that being said, there wasn't many in the first one, and it was only this one that had the problem. Now there is another issue, and I'll insert some pictures or a clip of it, where the yarn looks almost like it's been burnt. Is there any of it nearby? Any visible? This will give you a good look at the colour too. Areas a little bit like this, like these imperfections. Do you see where the yarn goes almost like a crusty or a crispy effect of it? It's tough, almost like it's been burnt or something. There are quite a few of those. There it is, there's one. Perfect. That crusty, thinned out imperfection. So we get a better picture. I'll insert clips if I can find them of this. This has happened quite a few times, and this happens often with cheaper yarns, but still I don't like it. Although I will say sometimes I like the texture change. I do like a little bit of variation in the yarn just to keep it interesting, but that I don't like it because I know it's not supposed to be like that. It is an imperfection, it's a defect. So do be aware that this yarn throughout the balls does relatively often have these defects. If that's something you don't like, then that's something you need to consider before purchasing. So I've started knitting with this yarn, and I am so pleased with the way it comes out. This bottom part here, I had a little idea that because I enjoy painting mountain landscapes and sunsets and things, that maybe I could make like a tapestry or a jumper with that theme using this bottom part of the yarn as the sky. Do you see it? Like sunset. It's so beautiful, I love it. I wanted to give like it a good chance to build up so you could see the colourway better. But this is it knitted just in stockinette. This is also a triangle scarf I'm working on, very simple pattern. If you'd like me to put up a tutorial, I will. Just let me know in the comments below. I might do that for the cooler weather. This is lovely. This yarn is incredibly soft. I wish you could feel it. It is so soft, so cozy. There's no irritation, and once again, there's no shedding. Now, I'm actually using a 5mm needle here. Now, this is larger than what's recommended, but as you see, this is turning out beautifully. So I'm glad I didn't use the smaller needles, and I wanted to use larger needles because I felt like it would give a good idea of how much versatility the product has. We know DK is typically knit on 4mm or sometimes 4.5, but going up to 5 and beyond, it can tend to look very gappy. This doesn't. It looks and feels incredibly comfortable. As you see, the tension's quite good. It's turning out really well, and I'm really pleased. This is how much I have left of the ball. I used perhaps a quarter of it at most, maybe a bit less, to finish off the skirt, and this is how much I've used to get this. You really do get your money's worth out of these balls of yarn, and the range comes in so many beautiful colours. I would love to try some more of them. There's definitely warmer and there's cool tones. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of knitting here, just so you can see as it works up, and yes, it pulls back very comfortably. The yarn also feels very strong as I'm knitting, doesn't feel like it's going to snap, there's no evidence of it fraying. Again, no evidence of it shedding either. This is what it looks like on the stockinette side, and then we have the pearl side, so that's what it would look like in garter stitch. I'm not as much of a fan of it in garter stitch, but in general I'm not the biggest garter stitch fan. So I think it looks very nice like this. It's not curling, it's knitting up comfortably. The colourway is lovely. Sometimes you would expect it to go from like the yellowy orange all the way to the pink, and then it to go to the yellowy orange again after the blue, but it doesn't. It gives you almost like, I wouldn't say inconsistent because that sounds negative, but it gives you a little bit of variation in the yarn. All in all, I'm really happy with this yarn. I think this has become my new second favourite, maybe third favourite yarn. Papatya Batik, it's a DK weight yarn, fully acrylic, and I am so happy with these colourways. If you notice with the crochet, it has a more striped effect, it's slightly blockier, and it has this, not in a bad way, like a primary school crayon type of effect. I personally really like that. I like this almost paint splatter effect, but I also love the soft transitioning of the knitting too. I think that gives it a good level of versatility, so you can do different things with this project. I really like that. As I said, I want to get some more of this yarn and maybe try some of the other colours. I want to try and make a jumper from it. I would love to maybe make a tapestry. A dress would look really nice. This yarn would also be nice quality if you wanted to gift an item to someone too. I'm really, really pleased with the way this turned out. Although I'm not the biggest fan of it, the way it looks in garter stitch, definitely in stockinette it really shows off the colourways. And you get so much for your money, because I've used one ball and maybe a half or less to make this full skirt, and it comes to about 2 inches above the knee, and start on this triangle scarf. It's not that big yet, but obviously that's a decent amount to get out of these balls of yarn. If you wanted to make a very short skirt, you could do it with one. If you wanted to make a small crop top, you could do it with one. You might be able to get a vest out of one. But really, the price of this yarn, £2.99, very good. Lovely quality, 100% acrylic. No splitting or shedding really. I think there was only 3 splits in this entire thing. Not really a problem. And there were no splits in the knitting so far. Again, no shedding in the air. Overall, I'm really happy. It has a huge range of colourways, and I want to try more of them because they all look so beautiful. But I think this really speaks for itself. Honestly, just looking at the colours, it really speaks for itself. Beautifully soft, much nicer quality than the price range. Although when you touch the yarn on its own, you're like, yeah, that feels like it's in that price range. overall it's actually much better quality. It's very nice, absolutely beautiful soft yarn. I strongly recommend it. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click like, leave some comments below your thoughts. Have you used this yarn? Are you going to use this yarn? And don't forget to subscribe because it's free and it really helps my channel out. And by the way, I want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed recently. I really appreciate it and I just want you to know that. So I hope to see you guys in the next video.